everyone, Josh here with X, bringing out another video here to the channel. And today we're going to be going over I guess you could say, the most anticipated games remaining to release in 2024. We've already had some of the big ones already drop, like Terrace Land recently here, and of course Wuthering Waves and Solo Leveling. Those were all some pretty big games that have done pretty well so far from what I could tell, especially both the RPGs. They are out there just making tons and tons of money, which looks very good for next year's slate of ARPGs as well, because next year we might be getting Project Mugen, we might be also getting Seven Deadly Sins Origin, which would be very good for Netmarble if that game also takes off, because they also published Solo Leveling, which is already doing well. So that's going to be really, really big. And obviously we still have Zenless Zone Zero to drop here, which you guys can see here in the background. By the way, I will have the links to all of these games in the description below, so definitely check that out. We're going to be going over 3 or 4 games. One of the games is kind of like, there's technically 2 of them coming this year. One's coming very soon, and the other one's coming later in the year. But they're both based on the same IP, and they're both the same genre. But we'll get into that in a moment. And we're also going to be going over one game that was supposed to be dropping here in the next couple weeks, but now got delayed till next freaking year, which really, really sucks. I know a lot of people are pretty hyped for and excited about it, and now they have to wait. So it's kind of a bummer, but I wanted to kind of cover that as well, because it was expected to be coming soon, and now it's not. But yeah, next year is looking pretty good with the RPGs. Project Mugen potentially, Origin potentially, and if they both do as well as the ARPGs that have been dropping recently, then all these companies are just going to be laughing and all their money. Because Zenless Zone Zero is the next ARPG slated to drop, and it's going to be dropping July 4th. Talk about going out with a bang, except they're going in with a bang. July 4th, they are releasing this game globally, which is going to be a lot of excitement for a lot of you out there who are big Hoyoverse fans in general, let alone ARPG fans. If you like story-driven games, a lot of hack and slash, a lot of combo mechanics, all that good stuff and more, open world exploration, you're going to be getting your hands all over Zenless Zone Zero ZZZ. Go get some sleep, get rested, get ready, get hyped. July 4th, ladies and gentlemen. So, this game freaking has 44 million. I shit you not, 44 million pre-registrations. Now, as a web designer, they could easily go in and they can manipulate these numbers. They can fabricate it real easy. I don't know how they do it. It's very, very simple. It's really basic stuff. But even if they fabricated those numbers even slightly or even half, 20 million plus pre-registrations is still absolutely impressive and crazy numbers. Okay? A lot of games are happy they get 500K, 1 million. Some of the upper tier games are lucky they hit 2 to 5 million. This game is sitting here at 44 million if that number is legit. That is absolute insanity. That is a crap load of people ready to go, ready to jump on this game. Man, Hoyoverse. Talk about just making multiple meal tickets. Okay? It's absolutely insane, because we're talking Little MiHoYo, that Tencent. If you guys want a little bit of trivia here, Tencent almost bought MiHoYo several years ago, and they're like, nah. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to go out there. We're going to succeed or fail on our own. We're going to go and stick to our own thing, do our own philosophy and make it or break it. And boy, oh boy, did they make it. They made it so big that they are now multi-billionaires. It's a multi-billionaire studio now. And they're now, of course, changing their name. And now they're going by Hoyoverse instead of MiHoYo. And it's fitting that they changed their name to Hoyoverse, because they basically are creating their own universe of games here, because you now are going to have three games in a row that are probably going to make multi-millions of dollars a month for, a long period of time. They've already done it with Genshin. They've already done it with Star Rail. They're now going to probably most likely do it again with Zenless Zone Zero. This is absolutely crazy stuff. I believe they're now the second biggest gaming studio in all of China, if not the whole world, because I'm pretty sure Tencent is still number 1 for now, and then Hoyoverse should be number 2. If I am correct there. Somebody could go and check and fact check me if they need to, but that is impressive nonetheless. A multi-billion-dollar company backed on really their own morals, their own, whatever they wanted to do, what they felt was right in their game, their game philosophy. If you like it or not, it's successful, it's working. So that is Zenless Zone Zero. Next one up, we have Sword of Convallaria. Now, a lot of people say Convallaria or Laria it really doesn't matter. It's going to be an amazing game. A lot of people are hyped for this. Talk about another game that's going to be pretty story-driven. However, this one fits more of a personal niche for me because this is a turn-based game. Now, it is a tactical turn-based, so it's not just true to form turn-based. It does have the tactical grid-based system, but it's still turn-based enough for me that I'm going to greatly enjoy it. And we actually plan here at Exis to maybe cover this on our main channel at Exis Plays, or maybe we'll keep it here on Exis Media. Me and our boy Girk are going to have to talk about it and see what we want to do with it going forward. There is a CBT for this coming up here in the next few days. Hopefully we both get in and we can maybe make some content if we're allowed. Otherwise, the game's going to be dropping late next month. It's going to be late July for this. It's going to be early July for Zone Zero. So be hyped at the beginning of the month and be hyped at the end of the month because July is looking like a pretty good month. Not for just the weather for a lot of you out there. Not because it's summer break still for a lot of you out there. But because we're going to be getting some true quality games because, man, do we need it. So I love it very much. So Sword of Convallaria is dropping very soon. It's going to be fun. It's going to be on iOS, Android, Steam, and Windows. So plenty of different platforms there for you guys and gals to get your hands on. I would recommend going to Steam right now and searching for this game because you can play the single player demo right now and get yourselves kind of acquainted to the game and get several hours of gameplay already out of it and kind of get your hands on, what the game's going to feel like when it drops globally very soon. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely go ahead and check this game out. It is using retro pixel style graphics. However, they do it so well, it looks gorgeous. They took the old school look and brought it into the new school. They added a little bit of modern touch to it, and it looks great. So again, if you are a big turn-based fan, a tactical RPG fan, story-driven fan, this game is going to have everything and more. Go ahead and check that out. And I believe they already hit their 500K goal for their pre-registrations. They might even be over 1 million. I'm not sure. If they are, maybe they'll add another reward. That'd be really great. We'll see. But that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, next up, for you MMO fans out there, I had to go ahead and include ArcAge because ArcAge is actually having 2 games drop. 2 freaking ArcAge MMOs dropping this year. You have ArcAge 2, which is very highly anticipated for the hardcore MMO fans out there. I didn't include the website on there. I do apologize for that. But you also have ArcAge War. Now, one of these games is supposed to be the prequel to the original ArcAge lore, and then the other game is supposed to be the sequel. I can't remember which one was which. You guys and girls will have to go check that out for yourselves if you're interested. Now, this game will be releasing, I believe, in SEA on the 27th. And we already know, SEA launches are pretty much considered soft launch with usually no wipes. And it's going to be in English. So if you want to get your hands on the game very soon before it goes like fully global, go ahead and do so here in the next few days because, again, it's going to be the 27th when that's going to be made available. Now, ArcAge is an MMO, obviously, so if you're a big MMO fan, if you like open world exploration, all those RPG, functionalities and quirks and all that good stuff that you like to go in there and do, you're going to have that very soon. If you missed a boat on Terrasland, or maybe Terrasland wasn't your bread and butter, go ahead and give ArcAge War or ArcAge 2 later this year a try. So there you guys and gals go. And it's also going to be published by a pretty decent sized publisher in their own right, Cacao Games. So that is my 3 games that are what I would consider still hyped up, anticipated, popular releases that are still to come for the remainder of this year. Now, there are several other games that are expected to drop as well, but, they're not all quite as glamorized. They're not quite all as popularized or hyped up or anticipated as some of these titles because simply they're either not big enough or there's not enough information or marketing really going into those games at this time. Not to say they're not going to be amazing and do well. It's just kind of the nature of the beast right now. And if any other big titles do surprise release, like sometime in like winter 2024 or something, I will make an updated video. So don't worry. We have, looks like they reached their 500,000. Maybe they did. I don't know. They don't really have it showing like if they reached it or not. At least not from what I'm seeing. I could be wrong. So I don't know if they actually hit the 500,000 or not. I'm not entirely sure. But their goal was 500K for registrations. And that's not bad for an SEA release. If they got that, that's really good. So there you go. And now, there's one game that I'm very disappointed in. Not that it's going to be a bad game or that I'm upset about the game. I'm upset that it got delayed. And that is freaking Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. It says now it's coming spring 2025. It was supposed to be here in a couple weeks. Side Games, what are you doing, bro? Oh man, I don't know if it's a call from the developers or the publisher or a combination of the two, but they said that they wanted to improve the quality of the game. They put out a statement a few days ago basically saying that, and I'm not sure what's going on, but somebody had some mismanagement going on. How do you go from being released in almost 2 weeks to now being pushed back like a year? You know, you think if your game was going to have to get pushed back that far, you would have known well in advance that was going to happen. But I digress. It is what it is. We're going to have to wait on Shadowverse. Now, a lot of you, if you've ever played a Side Games game, you know, if you played the original Shadowverse, it was really, really good. The only reason I played the original Shadowverse on my main channel was because at the time I was already covering Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I didn't want to really play 2 card games at the same time because it would have got a little bit convoluted and a little bit crazy, and I don't know if I could have kept up with all that nonsense by myself at the time. So we never really got into Shadowverse before, even though I was playing it on the side, and I always admired card games. I'm a big card game fan. So I'm very hyped about Shadowverse. I like that they even added like 3D world exploration and stuff elements to this game as well. It's not just a straight card game, but they're actually building a whole world around it, which is very, very good. And Side Games is very generous usually in their game development strategies, their monetization strategies. The games usually look gorgeous. The visuals are always on point. I mean, they made Dragalia Lost, which is an amazing game. They had other games like Grand Blue Fantasy, the sequel to that as well. They made the original Shadowverse. They have the track record to prove it and back it up that they're going to make a quality game. So next year, everybody get ready for Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. I just wanted to include that because it was supposed to drop soon, and it isn't, unfortunately. But I am still hyped nonetheless. Cannot wait to get my hands on that next year. That'll definitely be one of my hype watch games for next year, personally, for sure. So that is my games for the remainder of 2024 that I feel are, you know, anticipated, hyped up, popular, etc. If I missed any, let me know in the comment section below. And speaking of next year, you might potentially get Ashes of Creation. Finally, if you're a big MMO fan, you might get 7 Deadly Sins Origin or Project Mugen if you're a big ARPG fan. We might be getting the new game. I lost my I think it was like Chaos Nightmare or something like that. I'm having a brain fart, but it's a game that's coming from Smilegate and Super Creative. A lot of people are hyping that up as potentially the new Epic 7, potentially an Epic 8, you know, whatever you want to call it. That Outer Planes sadly was not. So we'll have to see what all of that's going to be dropping next year potentially. 2025 is looking like a pretty solid year for big titles. But you know, hey, we still have half the year still to go here in 2024, and there's still a few good games coming in the month of July at the minimum. So, you know, worst case scenario, we're gonna have a good summer. Let's stay strong, let's stay healthy, let's stay safe, let's get out there, let's game, let's take it on, let's have fun, guys. And that's it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, take notifications, join us in the Discord in the description below as always. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.